In this video, we will explore the transformation of Peter, an individual who has gone through a deep inner darkness. As we trace his journey, we will see how the adversities he encountered, including experiences of isolation and bullying during his youth, shaped his view of the world. We will analyze the twisted mind of Peter, who, thanks to fake social media profiles, has built a hidden domain and a false identity, uses the dark web as a canvas to paint his revenge, giving free rein to violence, torturing innocent victims to the point of death. The narrative will focus on the psychological dynamics that can push an individual towards destructive choices, highlighting the importance of facing and overcoming one's internal battles to prevent the descent towards revenge and hatred. In a dark and abandoned corner, where the city lights cannot penetrate, there is a story that echoes in the shadows, telling of loneliness, deception, and terror. This is the story of Peter, a tormented soul, whose past is a labyrinth of pain and humiliation, where every childhood memory is an echo of suffering and isolation. His childhood was a battlefield, where words were sharp weapons and bullies merciless soldiers. The deepest wounds, however, were inflicted on him by the girls' laughter and taunts, which eroded his self-esteem and made him a hermit in the social world. Growing up in the shadow of these storms, Peter finds himself an adult in an era dominated by technology, a world where masks are made of pixels, and identities can be molded like clay. He discovers the power of the internet, a vast and unexplored realm, where he decides to forge a new existence in the guise of a charming and confident alter ego. Cunningly, he creates a profile on Facebook, adopting the identity of an attractive boy, whose stolen photos become the face of his new life. Through this veil of lies, he begins to weave a dark web, promising naively hopeful young women a bright future in show business. His plan takes shape on a day like any other, when Peter, hidden in the shadows, awaits the arrival of one of his victims. And after carefully observing her with a banal excuse, he approaches her. The girl, unaware of the danger she is about to face, approaches Peter, who, masking his true intentions, pretends to ask for a simple indication. But the moment he gets close enough, he hits her with a quick and brutal gesture. When the girl regains her senses, she finds herself in a living nightmare, tied to a chair, surrounded by cameras that scrutinize her with electronic eyes, while a merciless voice announces her macabre fate. The horror intensifies when the cameras turn on, projecting his image into a red room on the dark web, where anonymous spectators witness his desperation. Peter has turned his desire for revenge into a spectacle of terror, orchestrating an online auction where the bidding price determines the method of torture. In the oppressive silence of the basement of an old abandoned sanatorium, the girl's screams are lost in a labyrinth of tunnels, with no hope of being heard. The girl is destined to a slow and painful death. His body is tortured by the torture he endured. Rivers of blood flow down the sewer drain, and all this for the pleasure of many people connected online, on sites hidden on the dark web, the deepest level of the internet. This deadly game repeats itself, fueling Peter's sick pleasure in watching women suffer one after another, until there is nothing left but silence. His thirst for revenge becomes a cycle of violence that engulfs innocent lives, disappearing without a trace into the dark folds of the city. This story raises a real warning about the darkness that lurks in the human soul and the dangers hidden behind the bright screen of the internet and the deep web. A world of endless opportunities, but also an abyss where deception awaits, hidden behind a click. It is a reminder of the need to navigate this digital sea with caution, where storms can arise suddenly and drag the most unwary into their depths. Peter's story is not just a tale of terror, but a wake-up call to all who venture online. In this new world without borders, the truth may be stranger and darker than the end. This tale serves as a bitter reminder of the internet's double-sidedness, a world of limitless possibilities, but also a breeding ground for the darkest human perversions. Peter's story urges us to be cautious, reminding us that in the digital age, deception is always just a click away. In an era where the virtual intertwines with the real, prudence becomes our beacon, illuminating the hidden dangers of the internet. And now we want to know, would you delve into the depths of the dark web? Would you venture into a red room? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, so as not to miss many other horror stories, because this is Midnight Horror, Stories of Blood. And if you like this video, don't miss another story about the terror of the underground network. Click on the next video and discover another disturbing story on the dark web.